What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, redoptionagency.com. 23 years selling full-time on eBay. Oh, we are Tuesday morning, and we are at 8 a.m., and I'm at $22. Yay! Alrighty. Well, this morning video, shipping, obviously. I think what I'll do is go over one of my most asked questions is how much you could promote in your stores at stuff. So I thought I would just go over everything I'm doing just as an update, refresher, and yeah, talk about whatever. So yeah, $22 in the last 9 hours. So huge shutdown again overnight for maintenance. Just consistent site problems, you know. It's just the same old, nothing new. Pain in the booty hole. Pain in the booty hole. Pain in the booty hole. Why are all those open? Okay. Alrighty, let's see here. Yeah, $22.19 at 8 a.m. So yesterday did pretty good. Yesterday on the big store, just the US eBay site did 721. We add in the international, 842. So 842 on the US and $110 on the small store. So not a bad day. 0 on the new store this morning, 22 on the big store. How many items did I sell yesterday? My numbers are still down, but they're going up. My top 20 search impressions was down like at 17% down, I believe it was. Now we're at 6.6. Yesterday, only 64 items sold, though. So, I mean, that's pretty good, doing $1,000 with the other. So maybe I think there was 5 or 6 on the other. So let's just say 70 items yesterday. Day before that was 82 items. So this morning, 1. So we'll see what kind of day it will be, if it'll bounce back or if it'll be one of the low days. Can you only imagine just what I would be making if there wasn't an overnight shutdown? It's just the night before last night, I don't think there was a shutdown. So that would make sense, I guess, $1,000 day. So that's what's capable when I don't get shut down at night. So what am I doing? Let's see. So everything's promoted at 13%, both stores. It's 13% across the board. I haven't touched it for months. So probably 3 months now, I haven't touched the percentage, just kept it the same. The sales pretty much kept the same, just kept them on. They're on through December, till December. Except for my new store, it only allows me to do like 45 days or something. So it's on for every 30 days on the new store. The new store, everything's 20%. And then I have buy one, get one free on the solid shirts. Man. Then the big store, media's buy 2, get 2. And then everything else is on sale for 30% off. So then I got buy 2, get 2 on a lot of all my smalls also. And hats. So just trying to give value to, the buyers. 2,000 items sold in the last 30 days. So that's right on where I wanted to get back to. So yesterday I listed 214 media items in the big store and listed 50 clothing items in the small store. So, and then last week I listed almost 1,400 items. So my goal this week is to beat that. So just being a listing fool, trying to get the numbers up. Since we're getting less value for the number of items we have these days, the only way to beat that is just to keep listing more items or cross post or whatever the case may be. So yeah, so let's do a little shipping here. We'll get to knock out the new store first. Oh, I didn't know I had more of these left. Big giant green ones. Because I need one. First up in the new store, just listed this, but I always grab anything fire related, police related. You can list it as long as it's not a uniform. So this is South Salt Lake City Hook and Ladder Company. And this has got holes in it across the front, which I noted and took pictures of, and still sold. Sold for $16. Get shipping labels. Headed to Lexington, South Carolina. Actually, this might fit. This should fit in one of these. Save the big ones for the big stuff. So, vacation. So here's looks like what's probably going to happen for vacation. It's probably just going to be a drive around, shop bins type of thing and whatever. So it looks like what we might do is make a loop. So St. Louis to Indiana, do the Indiana bins, then to Ohio. I've never been to Ohio bins, so Ohio bins. Then headed down to Tennessee, and I want to hit that indoor flea market that I had been at before. See what goodies I can get again in there. And along the way, we're going to look for places like that also. And then down to Memphis to watch the Heat play the Grizzlies, and then back home. So that'll be next week. So if you're in Indiana or Ohio and do the bins, let me know below. I'll try to keep updated in the comments sections, not the community section, and on Facebook. So you can, if you're not following me on Facebook, go ahead and do that too. And then maybe we can do a meetup at the bins, one of the bins and stuff. So I'm going to probably just do a kind of a relaxed type of buy type of thing. I'm going to just look for a lot of media. I want bulk media, and then look for high dollar stuff and like t-shirts, the t-shirts that everybody leaves behind that I pick up, and hats, of course. But if you've got time, probably do the Nashville bins also. So 1, 8. Cody. So Alex works from home now, so he'll be here to watch the pups. And then Adrian's taking the week off of work, so he'll be here to ship and help watch the dogs. So that'd be nice. Can know we can just, relax and not worry about anything. Next up, I got these zero exposure swim trunks 4XL. These sold for $8. Headed to Gurnee, Illinois. I had said this before, but when you get trolls on the YouTube channels, I appreciate it, but you don't have to respond. I leave them up because it's a reflection of who they are. And in my eyes, they're crying out for help. It says more about them than it does what they're trying to imply on others. But I leave them up in hopes that maybe their parents will see that they failed in life and raised a child who can't produce any positivity for the world and is just a negative Nancy. So hopefully the parents will see them, and then they'll find out that maybe reach out and try to comfort their child a little bit, maybe give them a bottle, and try to give them a little hope and confidence in the world. Maybe retrain them to be more positive and less angry. Less angry. Shoot, if anybody should be angry, it should be me. Look where I started in life. All those people probably start in a better position than I was in, and they're still angry at life. I started out with absolutely nothing. There's a $20 pair of shoes. Absolutely nothing, and kept working my ass off till I got something. So if anybody has the right to be angry, it's me. But I choose not to. I never chose to be angry. Never chose to be angry about anything. You just got to do the best you can with what you got. And what you got is everything. It's not easy, but there's a million different avenues you can take in this country to do something productive with your life. We got these DKNY jeans denim dress. Sold for $15, headed to Bedford, Pennsylvania. Everybody's got a choice to make every day. We make a million choices a day. And if you decide to make positive choices, motivating choices, happy choices, it's going to reflect. It's your life's going to turn around into positive. Your life's going to be more productive. Your life's going to be more happy. Everything is based off the energy you give out. And if you choose to give out negative, then that's what you're going to receive back. That's just the laws of the universe, basically, Diane. Everybody has moments. Everybody has situations. Everybody has problems. But how you handle them is what makes you you, Bonobos sweater, women's sweater. No, it's a men's sweater. Sold for $16, headed up Chicago. There's people who, when they're upset, they take it out on others because they can't internalize it and realize that, 9/10 of the problem is them. because of the decisions they make on how to handle issues, right? So like the worst things for me to handle are surprises. So I always like to try to prepare myself for everything in life. Jeremy. That's why when I was growing up, I prepared myself to be homeless the rest of my life. Because if I couldn't find a way to make it or do something to get money, basically, I would still be prepared and happy. We got these Power Hold leggings. Sold for $10, headed to Benton, Illinois. I always kind of notice in life that the people who are angry are the ones that started out higher than some people, than like people who are just, not everybody, this is not an across the board type of thing, but it seems like people who start out with nothing are happier because, you know, it's almost like there's only one way to go, up. And even if you go down a little, you've been there, so you're fine with it type of thing. The people who are miserable are the ones that usually start like middle class-ish or something and then go down via their own lack of drive or whatever the case may be. You know, their own decisions, whatever the case may be. But then how do you handle it on top of it? That will either make the situation worse or it'll start you back into the better position. Like I said, you will be, you get back what you know, get back what you put out. Haley. I was like, now I'm thinking about it. When I was growing up, and would walk through like the expensive neighborhoods and look at their cars and stuff, and always wanted a nice car and all this and that. So I used some of the highest stuff. People working hard with big houses, with cars, took the big part of a positive, but then also took the small part, like, okay, how will I get food if I'm homeless? And figured out a whole scheme of, not really a scheme, but a way to get food, knowing that chicken places throw out a lot of chicken at night. Pizza places usually, I don't eat pizza, but usually has leftover pizza at night. There's a $15 hat. So like I would have it all worked out. So no matter which way I went, I would, you know, I had something to shoot for, but yet, not really have something to shoot for if I didn't do anything, but had a game plan set, and so I wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't be, of course, like, you know, Mike Tyson says, everybody has a plan until they're punched in the face, right? So whether that would have worked or not, or anything's another story, but Scan form number 1. I mean, I could have easily took out some anger on my parents, but they are who they were, They did the best they could in their circumstances. And it was my job to do better. And when I say my job, my duty to myself to do better. Get shipping labels. Any international? We got 2 hats going to Canada. Cassette going to Germany. And that is all. All right, first up we've got, I still grab these things. Despicable Me t-shirt. Sold for $10.50, headed to Bakersfield, California. I was thinking the other day, like, I've heard some people say that, some other YouTube people say that what I've done can't be duplicated today. And that's always stuck in my head because can't should not be in the vocabulary of someone trying to, for any entrepreneur, can't should never be in your vocabulary. So that, to me, of course I disagree with that statement, but it reminds me of that's the same attitude that people gave me 23 years ago when I would say what I was going to do. You can't do that. It just echoes. Like, so for 23 years of the business, I've heard can't. And I've never understood why people allow can't in their vocabulary. It should always be, how did they? Figuring out all the details about how it achieved, whether you want to do it or not. But in that journey of figuring it out, you might find something that helps you on your path, the direction that you are going, if you will. So, like, I never say that can't be done. I'm always the one trying to figure out how it can be done. Oh, I forgot to pull the Spider-Man soundtrack. Spider-Man in 15 and 16, which should be right here. Bring this over here, it'll be a little bit easier. I'm bending over looking for it. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, doing things that spiders can. Or something like that. Alrighty. We got, are you ready for a Spider-Man light? Yeah. We got a Spider-Man soundtrack. We've got 2 Spider-Man DVDs. $6, $4. Headed to Kentucky. That one needs resurfaced. That one does not. of a goblin is resurfaced. And like on like the whole can't scenario. Let's do one thing that rings out was a video I watched with his name's escaping me all of a sudden. Starts with a D. Mel's boyfriend, back from burnout. Anyway, he was talking about how he's building a program, kind of like the one I'm using, to list 1,000 items a day. And I guess he's part of that tech and sports group, and there was people in there telling him he can't do that. And that always stuck out to me. It's like, actually, I know he can because I've used a similar program, and if it was tweaked a little better, it'd be easy to knock out 1,000 listings a day. I mean, I can knock out several hundred a day. If I went a full 8 hours, I could probably do 1,000, even on that program. If I was 8 hours straight doing the same one thing. Tristan. So I knew he could because of my experience knowing the details of the situation. And the people who says you can't do it, well, they don't know the details of the situation. First off, why is can't in your vocabulary? Second off, how is he going to do it? Figure it out. Learn the details of the situation. So I'm bringing that into play here just as an example of can't is because you don't know enough information. So if you start to say the word can't, stop yourself and figure out how one can. Learn all the details. There's something there that you're missing. Figure it out. Next up, are you ready for a tape lot? We've got Enemy Mine VHS tape. We've got David Lee Roth Little Ain't Enough cassette tape. We've got Paul Simon. We got Jimmy Page. And we got Gun. $4, $4, $4, $4, $4. And I'm guessing they would have used the buy two, get one. Buy two, get two. It doesn't show here, but I would assume they did. I'm just trying to think of different examples and different situations to help one change their outlook on things, to question themselves first before they question somebody else, to be motivated to learn. Can't is lazy. How can I takes work. Some people don't like the word work. But I would assume that everybody who watches my videos has no problem with the word work, but you may have a problem with the motivation part of work. We got this little Tommy Hilfiger reversible bucket hat. Sold for $10.50, headed to Los Angeles, California. 6 to 12-month-old. Did the change in my sales, of course, I'm always going to say there's something involved that we can't control. eBay, the way they're doing things right now, the way they're working their site right now, we can't control that. Did B make changing my attitude from worrying about the details that I can't control and focusing on the details I can control? What percentage of my sales going up was that? What percentage was maybe the website getting better? But what percentage was me changing my focus from negative to positive and focusing and getting something done? I can't answer that because I don't know how much percentage the problem. I mean, when you look at the overnight issue, I don't think no matter what I do overnight, if I stayed up overnight all night, would it change anything? Or would the stuff that I list overnight just get buried because the server's offline or whatever the case may be? So, but the one thing that would change would, if I did stay up overnight and list all night, that eventually those items would sell and help out the next day or the day after or next week or whatever the case may be. It's about the details you can control. ALBERT. As you saw, it's so easy to let negative stuff drag you down, to demoralize you, to make you not want to do anything. Oh, we got this top pro fitted blank red hat. Sold for $5. Headed to Land O'Lakes, Florida. Is that where the butter comes from? Dennis. Children Bodum. Hate Crew Death Polls CD. Sold for $15.30. Headed to Portland, Oregon. That could be resurfaced with the other one. Other things I'm doing. I'm still doing Offsite Promotions. Last I checked, they were doing good. I had a 5-point something on the return of ad spend on the big store. I just started the new store. Last time I checked, I had spent $4, but have not made anything yet. But you should give it a good 30 days before you worry about anything. Let me take a look at it right now. Promoted offsites, 23 clicks, spent $460, no conversions yet. So we'll give it 30 days and see what happens. Next up, Marilyn May CDs signed, sold for $25. Headed to Middleton, Wisconsin. For Aaron. like what I'm trying to do now is just kind of realign my thinking with kind of like the way I used to think when I was trying to make it. Like, not just with a positive attitude, but with just this positivity, confidence, aura, just this whole, almost like not like a bubble, but you just create this own bubble of positive, motivational energy, if you will. We got this Nautica hat. So for $13.29, headed to Houston, Texas. Texas. Where nothing's an obstacle. You know, everything can be gone through. Everything can be passed up. Everything can be left behind. And also just trying to, and I think I'm doing a real good job, personally. I'm not there yet when it comes to, I think I'm there with everything except the love part, the heart. I think that's the final step for me. Like, the confidence is there, the motivation's there. It's just, I mean, I love what I do. I'm happy with it. But I almost have to remind myself right now about that part, the love of it. So that's the part I'm building right now. Like, that's why you'll see me thanking you guys so much. And then I'm telling myself, and I'll even put it on Facebook, I love what I do. Have I said today that I love what I do? So you'll see those posts from me. That's me building that last part of making, to make that just a given, an impulse, subconscious, the love. But I think that's always been my hardest part anyway, is the love. Just that word alone has always been hard for me. Because I've always, not with everything, but most things, I've separated myself from it emotionally. The Spirit of African Music CD. I sold for $18, headed to Stuart, Florida. And maybe that's because of my childhood, my upbringing. Maybe it's because the way I perceived my childhood and upbringing. Maybe it was both. Maybe it was with some of the things that happened in the way that I perceived it and took it. And then trying to build out differently now and say, my parents did the best they can. They did. They did the best that they could. So don't be angry about A, B, or C. Don't be upset about A, B, or C. Don't be upset that maybe you didn't feel loved or whatever the case may be. My parents, I can't remember ever anybody in my family ever saying the word, I love you. Nobody. Parents, brothers, sisters, nothing. Love was just not in the vocabulary of my upbringing. So maybe that's why I got such a wall or a hardness toward that word. Heart, love. Because maybe I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe I do know, but yet it just doesn't register, or I don't let it register. I don't know. So that's always been the hardest part for me. So that's my final step that I'm working on. Like, I can emotionally get wrapped up into things. And me crying about my dad's death, that's got to be love, right? Of course, I love my pups. I think that's the only innocence. The love of innocence, I think, is my most passionate love. Children and animals. I hate when anything bad happens to a child or an animal. The innocence. So I think my love of the innocence is probably my strongest attribute. Is that the right word? For the word love. When it comes to love. Everything else, love can be destroyed instantly. One situation, one sentence, the word love can be destroyed. But when you have innocence, nothing can destroy that love. I was going down a road I'd never been there before, so thank you for coming along with me. There we go. Like, I love doing this, but it could be taken away tomorrow. What if I can't get down the steps for a health reason? I have a stroke. I break both my legs. I can't get down the steps. Guess what? My love is gone. Technically, it won't be. I'll figure a way out, but it's hanging in the balance, if you will. Next up, Smart Chicken hat sold for $10.50. Headed to Sutter, California. What can I pull out of what I just talked about? Kenneth. Next up, we've got Chippendales postcard. Sold for $7. Headed to Kansas. Shelly. Next up, 50s instrumentals. Time Life CD. Sold for $7. Headed to Prescott, Arizona. I needed this morning video. Wow. I like it. Henry. Just saying all that stuff from the very beginning, just talking about it all, it's all just resonating now. It's what's it like? When it's simmering, it's marinating. It's marinating. The Beatles with the Beatles CD sold for $5. Headed up to Michigan, Badger, Michigan. Not Badger, it's Bangor, Michigan. Boom, 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 boom. Dan. Next up, we've got Gateway Grizzlies hat. Sold for $6. Headed to Raleigh, North Carolina. Yeah, boy. Da-da-da. Goals of the day. I don't think I got any interruptions today, so that's a good thing. I got the bug guy coming, but he's just doing the outside. We haven't had the inside of our house sprayed in probably 6-7 years now. More than that, actually. Just haven't had no bug issues. Knock on wood. We got stink bugs, but those are mostly outside. They get their way in, and I have to capture them and create an escape plan for them before Jan gets a hold of them. I'm like, don't crush them or kill them. First off, they're going to stink. Second off, they're innocent. Just let them outside. Carrie. Moon Mulligan Instrumentals vinyl record sold for $10.79. Headed to Maine. Oops, I have no LP mailers in here. I might have to order some supplies today or tomorrow. Get them here before I leave. I wonder why Pee-wee hasn't come down. He must be sleeping. He must be snoozing. Snug as a bug in a rug. Unless he came down and I didn't see him. Ralph. Well, maybe I'll use this vacation to try to find something different, a new opportunity. Next up, we've got, are you ready? Hey, for a hat lot? Yeah, diamond fiber hat. Savage Foods. Pork checkoff. Primavera. So these are all like food hats, huh? I think that's a food thing. That sounds familiar. $10.50 a piece. My guess is they did the buy two, get two. No, not priority. Oh no, they didn't use the buy two, get two. They used the $5 shipping coupon instead. So the $5 shipping instead of $5, $6, $7, $8 shipping. Okay, it's Maddox. Humdy, humdy, hum. And a bottle of rum. I think everything I talked about kind of plays into why I've never like drank or did drugs, because I always viewed those as escapes from reality, and I've always wanted to build a reality I didn't have to escape from. And I think that's why I have I have no desire to even drink alcohol. Yeah, it's just not even ever a thought on in my head. Because the way I guess I program myself to view it as an escape. And why waste your life escaping it when you can create a life that you don't need to escape? And I have nothing against people who drink or anything like that, you know. I mean, if you drink and abuse people, then we got a problem. Or drink and drive, then we got a problem. But like, I don't look at it negatively, like toward other people. I guess it's just a self-programmed thought to not do it. My dad used to drink. He would go to the bar before he come home and things like that. And I've seen friends who basically would drink themselves to death. Had friends who would overdose. Tax season was the big overdose season, right? I mean, there's one guy kind of grew up with named Mark, who he was off drugs for a long time. Started working, blah, blah, blah. Income tax time come around. He got a big chunk of money. Oh, guess what? He's going to relapse. Well, he hadn't done drugs for a while. He tried to go back to the same amount, and he ended up overdosing and dying. So, I say kind of grew up with him. I met him like high school-ish years. And we had just connected back on Facebook a few months before he passed away. He was like a friend that I was real close to, Corey. It was like one of his best friends. So he took it really hard. Because it was somebody he actually grew up with from a child. So. All right, well, that's a good talk. Probably did more for me than you. I don't know. Let me know. If you have any thoughts or takes on anything I talked about, bring them up below. Maybe I'll check throughout the day, see what you guys are saying. I'll do these international when I get back. I got 2 hats this person bought. $12 for both. St. Joseph Saints and a Marines hat. And we got this God Machine promo cassette. Sold for €15. I'll do them when I get back. Get these resurfaced and get to the post office so I can get back and get listings so I can beat yesterday's number. I think today I'm going to hit t-shirts hard. Second, so I just want to get this new store. I want $100 every day. Just boom, boom, boom. So then I know that no matter what I do on the big store, because of whatever the hell's going on, I can pull out 100 every day on the new store. That would be nice. Nice thought. So I'm going to go after a bunch of t-shirts today. And of course, I think I got 2 boxes of DVDs left to pound out. That should take about an hour, if that. And then I've got a lot of vinyl I got to start processing. So, I'll start on getting that vinyl worked on today too. So, maybe get those new toys up that I have, since I don't have many yet. So, all right, thanks everybody for hanging out, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.